So you want to start a YouTube channel. So pull up the YouTube search bar, type in best camera for YouTube, press enter. You are met with an onslaught of choices that promise to take you from 0 to 10 million subscribers as soon as you press record. Sounds great. Go ahead, add that camera to your cart. You'll be met with a price tag that looks more like a phone number. Today I'm going to show you a budget camera that's going to cost you less than $300 and it's going to be perfect for YouTube. The camera I'm talking about is the Panasonic Lumix G7, and it is a 4K beast. You could shoot 4K video up to 30 FPS, but you can shoot 60 FPS if you're shooting in 1080. In this shot I'm using the kit lens, but this does have a micro four thirds sensor that you can attach any micro four thirds lens and improve your image quality, or just go for a different shot in general. These different lens options are not only going to improve the quality of your image, they're going to allow you to get shots like this, or high quality shots when you're really far away from the camera. The fully articulating touchscreen is really nice to have if you're just filming yourself. And the microphone jack is great for upgrading your audio in a very inexpensive way. The camera is really lightweight and easy to use. The menu is simple to navigate, and the touchscreen makes it a breeze to use. And it gives you a lot of customization that you would expect from a more expensive camera. Now, this camera is a bit older, but it was very popular when it was released. So if you do run into an issue, someone on the internet has probably already solved that issue. And there's also a ton of tutorials on how to get the most out of this camera for any use case. Now, this camera has been commonly recommended for beginner videographers for many, many years. It's just an excellent camera to master the basics. I've had mine for about 5 years. I bought it on Facebook Marketplace for about $250. It came with a micro SD card, the kit lens, and an additional telephoto lens. And there's no way that this kit is not worth more than that today. And that is one of the main reasons that I would recommend that you go for a used camera if you're just starting out. If you decide that this really isn't for you, or if you just like a different camera, you can sell this camera for the same that you bought it for, even if it's years down the road. I also would steer more towards a mirrorless camera just like this one, rather than a pocket camera or a webcam. The mirrorless option is going to be much more versatile and give you a much cleaner image due to its larger sensor. This camera is going to perform much better in low light conditions, such as your bedroom or on your gaming setup. The G7 is also capable of creating that shallow depth of field that separates the subject from the background, and also that bokeh effect that is very highly sought after. Now, you'll probably want to pair your Lumix G7 with a different lens if that's the kind of look you're going for. But again, this camera has been out for a long time, so you have a lot of choices when it comes to a lens, and a lot of them are available secondhand for excellent prices. That's why I personally don't think it's necessary to upgrade from this camera. You can always get a different lens for it, but especially if you're filming yourself in your bedroom or in a YouTube studio or in a controlled environment like this, I really don't think that this camera is lacking much. But the camera is not perfect. There are some caveats that you should probably know about before you buy this camera. Now, the autofocus performance on this thing is famously bad, and it also lacks in-body image stabilization, which at this price point, I mean, that's kind of a given. This makes the G7 lackluster for vlogging. I would still say that it's usable, but if you plan on moving around a lot or shooting a subject that is moving a lot, the autofocus is probably not going to be good enough for you. The autofocus isn't as bad when you're shooting in 1080p or if you're shooting in a lot of light or both. So when I was actually testing the autofocus, I found that it was usable in certain situations. Like I said, 1080p, lots of light. There's different modes that you can use, and they all work a little bit differently. Like you could see here, it just totally goes out of focus. I have no idea why. And then this was in 4K, and it was just, it was just atrocious. There are so many videos on YouTube telling you how to get the best autofocus for this camera. I pretty much always use manual focus, and I've never had an issue. But if you plan on shooting a moving subject, you should probably just get a different camera. There's also no weather sealing, and the body is made of plastic. Now, the in-body image stabilization. The image your camera produces can be fixed in DaVinci Resolve if it's a little wobbly. Or I guess you could buy a gimbal for it, but at that point, maybe you should just be buying a different camera. It works okay to shoot the occasional B-roll with. DaVinci Resolve seems to handle this just fine. But talking head videos and live streaming is where this camera is really going to shine. Any situation where the camera is mounted and your subject is not moving is going to produce a very clean image with this camera, and you will not be utilizing any of the G7's weaknesses. So sure, you can spend a lot more money on a camera with all the bells and whistles, but are you really going to use all that stuff? That's for you to decide. For me, the G7 gives me everything that I need in a camera and nothing that I don't. And just so you guys don't think that I'm lying about the pricing here, I'm going to look up some here. And so I found one here. I don't know where you guys live, so I'm going to be jumping around the map here. But this one is $220. It's got the kit lens on it. He says it's an amazing camera. Hey, I agree. Hopefully I got a memory card in. I don't remember if I do or not. Here's one for $250. It comes with the kit lens. $250 with the lens is a really good deal for this camera. Here's another one. This is $300 and it comes with the kit body lens. This is a couple of filters, a remote, a shutter, a hard. All right, let's take a look at MPB. So here you go, an excellent condition, $300, $300, $300. So if you're looking for body only and you want a warranty, MPB is a really good place to go. I think they offer warranties on everything. You probably get better prices on eBay. Let's check them out. So it looks like we've got several here that are around $250 body only. But yeah, hopefully you can see I'm not just pulling these numbers out of my ass. Like, you can actually buy these cameras for $250, sometimes less. You can obviously, get a much better deal if you negotiate. That's what Facebook Marketplace is great for. Now, I should talk about lenses here for a second because I typically use the Sigma 16mm f1.4 lens. This is an excellent lens. Watch any G7 video, it's probably the first lens that they're going to recommend that you buy, and it's for good reason. This lens will produce a sharper image, create that shallow depth of field you're looking for, the bokeh effect as well. Its low light performance is going to be much better, making it ideal for desk setups and gaming room setups and bedroom setups. But hopefully I'm showcasing in this video that it's not really necessary. If you're just looking for a clean image that looks professional, I think the kit lens does just fine for that. All right, now I have switched over to the Sigma lens just to show you what kind of image quality you can achieve if you get a different lens for it. It is much better in low light, so I did have to dim every light in this room, and it is much more comfortable filming myself when this light isn't quite as bright, and it's also less harsh on my face, maybe just gives me a little bit of a softer look. And I just think it's just a much better image overall, and it's much easier to work with when you don't need as much light. But I am going to switch back to the kit lens just to showcase that to the best of my ability. The kit lens is going to be more versatile if you're shooting different types of content, and it's really good to learn on as well. I would recommend shooting your videos with the kit lens to start, and as you're using it, you will find out what focal length you want and what features you need in a lens that is going to give you the best image quality for your use case. I should mention that your lighting setup is going to have a more profound effect than any lens that you can buy. This is what the camera looks like without any lighting. All I have on is my room light. It obviously looks much, much worse. So I am using a very inexpensive lighting setup that I'm going to showcase in a different video, so please subscribe if you're interested in that. I'm also going to do a different video showcasing the Sigma lens. It just deserves its own video. Otherwise, I do have another camera that is commonly recommended for beginners. It is the Sony a6400. Maybe I could do a side-by-side comparison of that. Just let me know in the comments what you want to see.